Us whiskey nerds often have a soft spot for one brand, one distillery, which we hold near and dear to our hearts. Some are pumping out a wide range of styles, while others have perfected a certain flavour profile. But what if we could only pick one distillery to the end of time? That's a challenge set for me, Mac, on Kanpai Planet by
Whisky.
On who knows where or what. Possibly the most challenging to watch whiskey reviewer.
Possibly the most challenging to watch whiskey reviewer.
His words, not mine. And with that, let's crack on. Albert Einstein apocryphally said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes defining the problem and 5 minutes solving it. So we first need to establish the rules of engagement. Now, when I reached out to the taskmaster himself, Jeff told me that he framed the problem as the market stayed the same and the whiskey still needs to be paid for and be attainable. This creates two challenges for Japanese whiskey that are less problematic for Scotch. The first is availability, a multifaceted challenge. Take, for example, I don't know, Suntory's entire core range. Almost impossible to find at RRP on shelves in Japan, even their no-age statement bottles. And then there's the variety aspect. Although, as Wade from McIntyre's Malts points out,
it's near impossible for one distillery to provide every type of unique flavor profile that we are seeking to enjoy.
You'd want, ideally, to choose a distillery with diverse expressions readily available, either through their own core range and special releases, or through independent bottlers. However, Japan only got its first true independent bottler in 2021, and single casks are typically bottled for specific clients like bars, immediately removing a large percentage from general circulation, making them accessible only through connections rather than regular retail. The second is pricing, although that is completely meaningless when it comes to Japanese whiskey. If cost mattered, if it was the deciding factor, you'd likely only pick Sakurao, which alongside amazing value offers you two distinct aging environments, sea level Sakurao and mountain aged Togouchi, plus cask variety in their single cask offerings and their core Togouchi blended range. However, they only restarted whiskey operations in 2017 and their previous liquid wasn't. So, the Kanpai Planet take on this challenge? The consolation for being forced to pick a single Japanese whiskey distillery for forever is that you get unlimited access to everything they have ever bottled, availability and price be damned.
But you know something? Sometimes you have to break the rules to free your heart.
You got that from a movie poster.
Well, when there's nothing left to believe in hope.
Where'd you get that?
From the producers of Waiting to Exhale.
Obviously, I need to choose a distillery whose liquid I genuinely enjoy drinking, not one I academically admire. Beyond that, I want enough flavor variety to keep me interested for life. Plus, ideally, the distillery would represent an iconic piece of Japanese whiskey history. Iconic, you say? Could Karuizawa be the one? This closed distillery commands insane prices and their sherried liquid is indeed wonderful. But it's also almost exclusively sherry aged, so no variety for me. The liquid from fellow closed distillery Hanyu, made famous by the legendary card series, is amazing and varied, though, like Karuizawa, it only became appreciated with the hindest of hindsights. But they had extremely limited output and inconsistent quality across years and casks. Plus, I feel the winner should be an active distillery. Otherwise, this video is only useful to my massive audience of billionaires watching on their unobtainium encrusted iPads.
Kanpai Planet is devastatingly good.
Who definitely didn't get rich buying Japanese whiskey. New rule, currently open.
One more thing.
One more thing. Oh, one other thing.
Just one more thing, please.
If this was a one company challenge, Mars would be a strong candidate with 2 distilleries, Komagatake and Tsunuki, and 3 aging environments, including their Yakushima aging cellar. Their work, especially at Tsunuki, puts them in some contention. Fun fact, Suntory have something similar. They age much of their Yamazaki and Hakushu liquid at their Ormi aging cellar. They just don't want you to know. There are several promising new distilleries emerging in Japan's whiskey scene. For example, up in Hokkaido, we've got Rishiri and Maoi doing very unique things, but I can't judge this on potential. I considered the more mature Kanosuke, releasing great single malt since 2021, with their wonderful distillate, accelerated maturation, and innovative cask use. If that latter point was the most important, then you would have to give it to Chichibu, with its seemingly infinite array of single casks and limited editions. But some of these novelties, while interesting, aren't things I'm wanting repeatedly. For one distillery forever, I need variety, consistent quality, and proper aged liquid. And that narrows it down to Suntory's Yamazaki and Hakushu, Nikka's Yoichi and Miyagikyo, and Kirin's Fuji Gotemba. Sadly, Kirin haven't released enough variety. Surely they have aged bangers warehoused. We just haven't seen them en masse. Yoichi is great, but too focused on peated whiskey, although we did see their unpeated side in 2021's Nikka Discovery series. I'm eliminating Yamazaki as while the 18 is world class, their Distiller's Reserve, certain batches of the 25, and several of their special editions, while not bad per se, they don't wow me. Miyagikyo liquid is lovely, but it's very Scotch-like and predictable or uniform, even with the cask finishes that we have seen released through time. Though you'd get the coffee stills thrown in, cracking out delicious Nikka coffee malt. If you're a Kanpai Planet fan, you know I've sung its praises before. Some of you may be raising an eyebrow. Yes, it's Suntory, and yes, it's hard to find at sensible pricing, but there are many reasons why this distillery has achieved cult status amongst Japanese whiskey fans, and it goes far beyond hype. Hakushu has entered the chat. Established in 1973, the Hakushu distillery sits at 708 meters altitude in Yamanashi Prefecture, surrounded by dense forest on an 825,000 square meter site. It uses naturally filtered soft water from Mount Kaikomagatake, water so pure that Suntory bottles it separately. It's my favorite mineral water ever. Coincidence? I think not. Many describe the thread that runs through Hakushu's output as the taste of a forest, which is very appropriate because 2/3 of Japan is covered by forest. This leads to a core range of a no age statement Distiller's Reserve, a 12, an 18, and a 25-year bottle, all unified by that distinctive forest character, and some smoke, yet each offering something unique, which can be enjoyed neat. They're excellent in a highball, and they all pair very well with food. The NAS provides a proper single malt experience at a reasonable price, and for me, it's really where whiskey clicked. The 12 remains a favourite everyday sipper. It's light, it's fruity, and it's got this wonderful, beautiful pepperiness. The 18 is pure poetry, capturing Japan's forest essence almost spiritually. And the 25? This is one of those distilleries that proves that age does matter. Yes, these are all 43% and chill filtered, but it's a price I'm willing to pay. Beyond the core range, there are numerous incredible expressions from Hakushu if you know where to look. While Suntory hasn't brought out widely available single casks recently, their past releases were magnificent. The Cask of Hakushu series from 2003 to 2008 showcased this beautifully, particularly the 1993 Spanish oak Botocorta, highlighted in Stefan van Aken's seminal work, Whisky Rising. The Scotch Malt Whisky Society's Hakushu bottlings under Code 120 are equally impressive. with 120.7 being another standout Botocorta, but 120.1 is the true unicorn, a 21-year Hakushu aged in Mizunara Japanese oak. But we can't talk about single cask bottlings without mentioning Suntory's owner's cask program, which ran from 2004 to 2010. It's truly impossible to imagine something like that happening now.
It was all a dream.
And there are some absolute gems which came out of that work. A personal favorite single cask was an expression that was bottled for bars that were in the cult-sounding Friendship of Hakushu program. Sign me up. A 2001 vintage aged in a hogshead at the Hakushu aging cellars themselves and bottled at 56% in 2012. It was one of the best Hakushus I've ever had. The classic Hakushu profile minus some trademark smoke, add in some delectable sweetness, all combined to give even more depth. Fantastic. Suntory have a history of secret special expressions bottled for their secret special friends. Bars, hotels, anniversaries, the kind of bottles you stumble across and you think, how the hell do they exist? And how the hell did they get there? I'll be enjoying those too. Thank you very much. For example, there's the Kiyosato Field Ballet 30th anniversary bottle, a vatting of Hakushu 30, 31, and 32-year-old liquid. My favorite Japanese whiskey ever. Incredible complexity and flavor in just one sip. Go and check out my video about that one.
Until next time, Kanpai.
It's mind-blowing stuff. While Suntory's more readily available special editions tend to focus on Yamazaki, there are enough Hakushu bottlings out there to keep me more than happy. The 2011 Bourbon Barrel and the Sherry Cask releases from 2012 to 2014 are great. Avoid the 2021 Spanish Oak though. Current offerings include the Distillery exclusive bottles, the Story of the Distillery series, the overseas duty-free Koge collection, and Japan duty-free's Bittersweet Forest, which is bitter and sweet and tastes like a forest. One common misunderstanding about the Hakushu liquid is that it is always peated. Actually, Hakushu produces more unpeated than peated whiskey, a fact emphasized by the release of specifically labeled peated malt bottles, like the 2021 edition, the 18-year 100th anniversary, or 2024 Sukuri Wake bottles. Plus, they also officially started grain whiskey production in May 2013. And the first Essence of Suntory series, released in February 2018, was the showcase for a 4-year-old Hakushu Rye, toffee, apple pie, and butter chicken curry. Trust me, it's devastatingly good. On one very special visit to the Hakushu Distillery in 2024, I was able to inhale the wonderful aromas emanating from their very oldest casks. So if the rules included all liquid ever produced, including that still in the barrel, then I've definitely made the right choice. By the way, everything I've just mentioned came together in possibly the definitive Hakushu. Their 50th anniversary bottle, a single blended whiskey combining Hakushu malt from notable years, including 1973, the opening year, alongside grain whiskey produced at Hakushu itself. Hakushu offers everything I need: variety, consistency, proper aged liquid, and an iconic character that defines the best of Japanese whiskey. If Suntory just threw in a few random barrel choices I'd love to see, a Hakushu IPA cask finish, then the picture would be truly complete. Of course, this wouldn't be a proper challenge without passing the torch to my fellow whiskey tubers. Roy from Aqua Vitae.
Hello, whiskey folk.
And Toby from Whiskey Shared.
I'm Toby and you're watching Whiskey Shared.
You're up.
Which one is it? You must choose. But choose wisely.
What about you? Which Japanese whiskey distillery would you be willing to commit to forever? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, Kanpai.